Hello friends, so today we are going to, let's go out into the garden. We're going to do some garden work. I've got some things to plant here. So let me show you. I have got some Muscari bulbs. I found these at Food City. Usually, like the things that I can't find anywhere else, I'll always find it at Food City in the floral department. They had one box of these left. I know these naturalize in my area really well. I'm in zone 7A, so you can see everything's still kind of green. Like a lot of my stuff is still alive, even though we have been getting really cold nights, like freezes and stuff. My everything's pretty much still alive. Like my pansies, the daisies right here are alive, the foxgloves, yarrow, catnip, the wire vine. But right here I've also got 3 different types of poppies. I bought these from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They have a really big selection of heirloom seeds, which is great. Things you can't find anywhere else. Older varieties of different vegetables or flowers. So, and I really like the seed packets. Like, I know it's not a thing. Like, I know a lot of people, you don't buy the seeds for the seed packet, but people like me, where I save all of my seed packets, because it's like, I like to record. I put it in like a scrapbook type thing, so I can record the garden. Of course, I have several different ways of recording the garden. You guys seen a couple of them. But yeah, I've got some giant rattle poppies right here. I'm so excited. I've already planted all of these, and some other ones throughout the whole garden, but it's now cool, and poppies need a cool season, so I want to get them in the ground before, because really the poppies, they will only stay alive in my area. They'll come up around February, depending on how cold the winter is. Last year they came up in February. They came up a little bit after the daffodils. And they stayed for a while, but then they fizzle out pretty quick. They're not a summer flower. They're like a late spring, early summer, super early summer flower. But they will not tolerate like the super hot heat here. I got some Hungarian blue bread seed poppies. And some Flemish antique poppies. And also some cosmic purple carrots. I've already got a bunch of these planted in the garden. They're already alive and germinated. Let me take you on a quick tour of how everything is looking, because I've not shown you the garden. I haven't shown you the winter garden, I know that. So let me show you guys around. Okay, so you can see I took down all of the vines right there. You can see over here all the coleus has died. I got clippings of all of it. Of course, they're all planted in the house in a pot. Show you guys over here. So yeah, all this here, this is where that little thing was that the cats were sleeping under. You can see here. So yeah, but like all my herbs and everything, like here you can see a line of a little drift of foxgloves, some yarrow, big old clump of yarrow right here. Like all of this stuff is alive, even if it doesn't look it. So here we've got the dill that looks like it needs to be watered. We've got carrots here. These are all a bunch of carrots. You can even see we've got wild onions and a bunch of stuff here. These are some coreopsis starting to grow. Yeah, there's tons of stuff. Those are my eryngiums, the mugwort. Of course, it dies back and then it comes back bigger every year. You can see I pulled all of the vines off of the trellis. But over here, I'll show you guys, these are all the sweet williams. These stock flowers are still blooming, which is amazing. I've never grown stock before. It's the first year, but pretty impressed with it. Got all of the little violas blooming still, or pansies. Over here you could see I took out the moonflower vine and the sweet potato vine, or the potato vine, and I planted a little bunch of violas. They are so cute. They're all different colors. It was just like a little mix that I got at Lowe's, and they were so cute. I just love all the different colors. And of course, over here we've got the onions and the lettuce. This is the Starfighter lettuce, and the wildfire right here. And then here is the first batch I sowed. I sowed these in September 16th is when I planted these. Look how freaking massive they've gotten though. Like, it's pretty amazing. Like, it's starting to actually look like lettuce, and I'm pretty impressed. Like, it's super beautiful. And then right here we got some lovage, a bunch of other stuff I've planted. And then over here, see, here's some of the poppies that I planted. They're coming up. You could see them. I don't know which ones these are. And then you could see all of the red clover that I planted, and the fennel is still growing. And then over here we've got some garlic and onions. These are just onions that were growing from a bag that I bought. You can see our poppies. We've got a bunch of poppies out here, so it's going to be a really beautiful garden right here in the spring. You can see here I've got some, what is this called? Miniature parsley, curly parsley, dwarf curly parsley. But it's mixed in there with the clover and the onions and garlic. Like, these onions are growing like very well. I'm really impressed. It's just the onion that was in the house. And here's a garlic that's growing. Let me show you the trees over here, how the cypress is looking. Everything's looking pretty good. And then here is how the greenhouse is looking. All the herbs still look really beautiful and green. I've been picking on them pretty regularly. Sage is looking great. The yarrow's just really growing out. Like, that yarrow is finally starting to look big instead of just like little miniature plants, because I started these from seed a couple years ago, and it's taken at least 3 years for them to bulk up to this size. Look at the oregano here. The oregano is totally taking over the bed, which is fine. And then lavender, thyme, other sage. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to plant the Muscari. I think it needs full sun. And I'm going to figure out where I'm going to plant the other things. And once I figure that out, I'll be back. Okay, I've basically planted the whole bag along this line in between the trees and the different plants, as eventually this whole, I want to extend this garden to like encase the property, you know. So this is right next to the Blue Point juniper, which I have to do some trimming on because it's got some dead pieces. But it shouldn't be hard. Don't get distracted. I get so distracted so easily. This soil out here is beautiful. It's so different. It's so crazy how each part of the yard has such different soil. So I've been these bulbs are really tiny, so I've been putting like 2 to 3 in one hole. Just, you know, like that. About 3 inches deep. And these do need a cold period to flower, much like daffodils and such. There's about 20 bulbs in here, though. They'll flank this whole part of the yard. And so I think them being right here is going to be really, really beautiful. So there's some right here. There's 1, 2, 3 singles I put in each hole, and then I put 3 here, and then I'll put 3 more in this hole right here. Sorry, I can't turn the heat off and make that thing shut up. Come out here and give everything a drink of water because it's been pretty dry the past week or so. Oh, that big old fat worm. Past like 2 weeks it's been pretty dry, so I'm gonna have to come out here or water everything before I go back in. These are already growing babies off the sides of them. How many more we got? I think probably just like 1 or 2. Oh, 3. So we've got 3 more. Okay. Pretty good. I think I'll put them over here in this little garden. Let's see, I'll put them right here. Will be good. Hello, Jenkins. How you doing? I really like the way Muscari looks when you plant it in the grass. Somebody that lives kind of close to me, they have their Muscari. I don't know if they planted it or if it's just natural, but it's in the grass and it looks so magical. It's like just like a little magical accident, and I love things like that. Move these bricks back a little bit. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Planting some stuff with me. And yeah, and hanging out, looking at the garden, looking at the winter garden. It looks so different than the summer. Let me show you just the trees. How different it all looks. And then you could see the mountains. Even the mountains look different. The mountains are all bare now. But I really love the winter here because you can see all the trees. You can see the actual shapes of the mountains, especially when it snows. I hope it snows this winter so I can show you guys how it looks. But in the summer, you can't tell the shape of the mountain. You can't see how many valleys and ridges there are. You can't appreciate them. So, I love you all so much. I hope you're having a magical day, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.